Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. Basically, this is going to be a video starting off my WWE Survivor Series 2014 review. In this video, basically, we're going to be talking about everything that's happened and everything that's gone down. I had a shitty day, and I just watched my first match of the night. It's the tag team four-way. I guess it's a fatal four-way for the tag team titles. Golden Stardust going up against the Usos, Miz and Mizdow, and the Matadors. They basically, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't ready to sit down and watch wrestling. I had to, reheat my dinner up. I had some lasagna, I had some vegetables, and from there, basically sat down and started watching this match. The show started off very, very weird. It almost started off like it was a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown with Vince McMahon coming down to the ring, Stephanie and Triple H following him out, then greeted by John Cena out there, and everybody was doing a kiss-up. The whole deal that they're trying to get down to basically could have been summed up on SmackDown or even on Monday Night Raw if they planned this out. Basically, there was Vince who came out there and said this is what the stipulation is going to be, that if the Authority loses, the Authority's not going to be in charge anymore. Then we had to wait all the way until the last SmackDown where basically, Triple H said that basically if Team Cena loses, they're all fired. Now they're adding more stipulations, basically, as they come out now, basically that if the Authority loses and they're stripped of their power, there's only one man that's going to be able to bring them back into power, and that's going to be John Cena, where I guess they're going to be able to, have some sort of storyline, basically where, the world is crashing at their feet and John has to reach out, and the only people that can save them would be, Triple H and Stephanie. I guess that would make them baby faces, or maybe they would have to be, bigger evil than whatever evil's crashing down around them. I don't know who's going to take over at the end of this night, if it's going to be Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming back as champion and just having, overrule over everything that's going down, and basically Cena can't get the title off of Brock, so he has to reach out and find somebody. Who knows? Maybe Triple H is going to be the guy who comes back and beats Brock. On the pre-show, we saw a returning Fandango wrestle against Justin Gabriel. Nothing big there. Fandango getting the win. Jack Swagger beats Cesaro in a match that I haven't seen yet, but I do need to go back and check out. Once these guys finally started wrestling, Miz and Mizdow, they ended up winning the titles. This was not really that big of a surprise. There was a whole bunch of, sort of close finishes, basically with the Usos doing a big splash off the top rope after them doing a whole bunch of super kicking everybody all over the ring. Goldust was able to tag in, then Miz tagged in and took out Goldust, and there was a blind tag by Mizdow, who came in and was able to get the win. There was a whole bunch of motions once this was all over. Basically, Miz was pissed at Mizdow for taking the glory. After about a little bit, basically he was able to, start celebrating the win because he realized that he was the champion again, and this is a big deal for him to be the tag champ. But a lot of comedy in this, basically, for Miz and Mizdow. There was a lot of awesome splashes out there. El Torito is probably a really good one. The Usos had a really nice splash. One of the Matadors, I can never keep track of which one's which. He came off the top and he splashed down on everybody on the outside. But I think everybody was pumped to see basically Miz and Mizdow take the tag championships. They seem to be one of the hottest things going in WWE today, and we'll have to see where they go from here in the future. The girls' match wasn't that spectacular. It wasn't anything to go out of your way to really see. 4-on-4. Basically, you had Natalya, Naomi, Emma, and Alicia Fox going up against Paige, Summer Rae, Cameron, and Layla. It was fun to see Naomi and Cameron get in there and duke it out, the former Funkadactyls. That was one of my favorite spots of the whole deal. They had the match on the pre-show a little bit ago. Cameron was able to get the win over Naomi, and you looked like Naomi was really pissed off about losing that match, but we never really got to see her returned into Justice at all. I heard that she went and got something on her eye fixed from the punch from whatever. It's the first time I've seen her in a match or seen her on television in a good little while. First time that I've seen Emma. Emma had some good exchanges in this match going up against Paige, but basically it was just the girls knocking off. It was the baby faces knocking off the heels one by one. First it was Naomi who eliminated Cameron. I can't remember who eliminated Layla. Then Summer Rae got knocked off, and at that point it was 4-on-1. Natalya, Naomi, Emma, and Alicia Fox going up against Paige. One of the best workers from this match, honestly, in my mind, was Natalya. I know that she's always been one of the best girls that they have in there. But basically, her, sort of spinning clothesline was just making me mark out like crazy for this match. I feel like I've calmed down a little bit since I've got home. So I'm ready to sit down and watch 3 hours of wrestling right now. But it was kind of weird in a Survivor Series match to see somebody get a clean sweep with 4 straight falls. I've seen this happen before in older ones, and basically most of the time it's the heels destroying the baby faces. But for Natalya, Naomi, Emma, and Alicia Fox to get the win, Alicia Fox didn't get into the ring that much. She did knocked out Layla with her spinning backbreaker, so she was able to get one of the wins there. But a lot of the girls that don't get a lot of television time, they got a big win here. I would understand basically to forward on the Natalya and the Tyson Kidd storyline, basically maybe Natalya being the one, but hey, maybe they didn't want to spend a lot of time on this one. So when it all comes down to it, basically it was Naomi who pinned Cameron with a rolling reverse cradle and a back bridge. Alicia Fox got Layla with the spinning backbreaker. Emma made Summer Rae submit with her move, and then basically Paige was left 4-on-1. It looked like she was about to walk out on this basically when Emma attacked her on the outside and threw her back into the ring. She wasn't going to let her do it. Naomi hit her with the rear view, got the big old booty right up in her face, and then she was able to roll her up and get the pin. 1, 2, 3. Would have liked to seen a little bit more payback on the Alicia Fox and Paige storyline, especially with Paige being the one left in the ring. But as long as they're going to further Emma versus Paige is a match that we've seen in NXT when they battled over the NXT Women's Championship, and is a match that honestly should be brought into the main roster. They have a really good friendship, which builds over into them being really good rivals, so I want to see more of that. It seemed like Tyson Kidd was just as fired up as being the team captain. He got into the ring and celebrated this. He seemed to be just as excited as everybody else. If you aren't watching this and you're just watching these reviews, you missed Adam Rose and the Bunny playing with some toys, and then Ezekiel Jackson and Heath Slater coming in and breaking it up. And I don't know, they're going to have a match on Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure what it's going to be. O'Neal and Slater versus Rose and Bunny. I'm hoping this isn't going to be on the pay-per-view. I'm hoping. It doesn't seem like something I really want to see. I don't even know what the hell just happened. Ambrose versus Wyatt. This is the match, honestly, that I had a match that I had good hopes for. Thinking this was definitely something that definitely could be a pretty good match. But honestly, the build-up for this match was just garbage. Talking, no actions. These guys had a few brawls, but nothing really memorable. When it came down to it, honestly, I think Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt put on a pretty good match. This is basically to set up the TLC match. Honestly, when I saw Bray Wyatt go to the outside and he grabbed that chair and he pulled it in there, and I was like, oh, we're getting the booking of the chairs match for TLC. Basically, that's one of the weakest matches I think they can do. I can sit through a tables match. I can sit through a ladder match. But the chair match, chairs, is just too much. Basically, this match ended in a disqualification. Bray Wyatt went to the outside after beating up on Ambrose. They beat the hell out of each other inside and outside of the ring. Basically, they had to hit the big boom spot with Bray Wyatt knocking out Dean Ambrose on top of the ring steps on the outside. Bray Wyatt went and got the microphone and brought it into the ring during the match, much like CM Punk during the 2010 Royal Rumble when he was part of the Straight Edge Society and he was trying to, talk to Zack Ryder and talk to the crowd, trying to make everybody clean and try to show everybody that he was the leader of the future and everything that the Straight Edge Society was doing. Just basically saying that he was apologizing to Dean, basically saying he almost was making it seem like they were going to make a good team, and it looked like maybe Ambrose and Wyatt would sort of team up. Maybe he was hypnotizing Bray to bring him over to the dark side. But at the end of the day, basically, Wyatt apologized to Ambrose and then slugged him in the head knocking him down. Then he went out to the outside and he got a chair and he slid it into the ring. It was intercepted by Ambrose. Bray Wyatt went down into the pose where he's just like, hit me, do it, you know you want to do it, you're crazy. And basically Ambrose didn't hit him with the chair. Then he waited until Bray got up off the ground because you can't give him an unprotected chair shot to the face, and he gave him a shot right to the gut. And the ref looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Threw the bell, disqualified Ambrose. Basically, after he got disqualified, then he knocked Bray down with the chair again, went to the outside, threw a whole bunch of chairs into the ring, piled them all up high. Then he went out and got a table. He put Bray on the table and came off the top rope with an elbow drop. He put another table into the ring, and then he put Wyatt on top of it. Went out and got one of the big, huge 12-foot ladders on the outside, climbed to the top of it, and I thought he was going to jump off onto Bray. Nothing happened. They just played the Ambrose music, acting like he won. Basically, a whole bunch of people came to clean up the ring, and this was supposed to make like Dean Ambrose look like he's beyond crazy to the point where he's supposed to be connecting with everybody. It didn't really work to me. It's pretty cool to see all the carnage laying there in the ring, but at the end, I was just, can we get to the main event already? I don't know where we're going from here, but I don't know. I want to see the main event. I think that's basically the only thing really left that I really have to care about. You got the Divas Championship match. Let's get that one over with, and let's get to the main event. I want to see the big reveal. I'll get to that in a little bit. Peace out. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know how to talk about this match. Basically, Brie and Nikki come down to the ring. AJ comes down. My head is ready to explode at this point. I have no idea what is going on. Basically, as they're doing the in-ring introductions, Brie ends up with the Divas Championship, and she's standing on the ring apron, and she's holding the championship. She's got it braced over her shoulder. AJ comes over, and she's pissed that Brie's holding her championship, so she tries to grab the title away, and as they wrestle for it, Brie sucks her in and gives her a big old kiss right there on the mouth. We've been doing lesbian angles in the WWE for a little while now. Everybody was thinking that basically Paige and AJ was some sort of lesbian angle that was going on, and now we got Brie smacking lips with AJ, and once this happens, AJ gets pissed and she turns away from it because she didn't want to be kissing her. CM Punk's gonna be pissed, and as she turns around, Nikki socks her, knocks her straight out on her feet. She picks her up into the freaking torture rack maneuver, drops her down, and it's 1, 2, 3. It wasn't supposed to end this way. I have no clue. Basically, a lot of people were saying that AJ was going to leave after Survivor Series. There's some people saying that AJ is going to leave after TLC. I'm guessing you have one way to set up the thing, but that's not even the worst part that made my brain just get ready to explode. Once that happens, Nikki is celebrating with the championship, and Brie is celebrating like she's so excited that Nikki won, and so I'm like, well, maybe that was a heel turn. Maybe she's embracing the fact that she's like, riding the coattails of her sister, and maybe that the Bella twins are back together, because I'd rather have them together as heels than have them split apart with one over here and one over there, not making any sense with what's going down with Total Divas. So I was fine with that, and then as Nikki and Brie are running around the ring, sort of Brie is looking at Nikki like she wants to kiss her too, because she's so excited. She's looking at her with this like lusty look, and then Nikki tells her to grab the ropes, because, of course, she's the manservant. It's like they didn't understand, what the gimmick was, or they both weren't on the same page of what was going down at the time. So basically, when Brie has to grab the ropes from Nikki, she gives her this look like she's all pissed off. So, like, I don't understand. Are they on the same page or not on the same page? My head is freaking ready to explode at this point. I have no clue. This is only Divas Championship, but I've been waiting for the main event. I don't know how long the main event's going to be, but the main event's about to start right now, so I'm all fired up. It's all worth it watching the Survivor Series, so let's get this done. Hey, what is up, everybody? This was an awesome match. This was a damn good main event. Honestly, when you look at the Survivor Series show for 2014 as a whole, honestly, he had the four-way kick it off, Miz and Mizdow winning the Tag Team Championship. That was something. And then you had the four-way traditional Survivor Series match with the four babyfaces going over Team Paige. Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose was a snooze fest, setting up next month's TLC match, more than likely. Adam Rose and the Bunny was Adam Rose and the Bunny. You can't really rely on them to have a great match against Slater Gator on pay-per-view. Nikki Bella and Brie Bella winning the Divas Championship. Who knows where they're going to go from there? I have no clue. But when it all came down to it, everybody knew that Team Cena versus Team Authority was basically the reason why this was a pay-per-view and why this was the show you were going to watch. 45 minutes of greatness here. Honestly, when I looked at the clock and I saw how much time was being saved for this match, I thought that it was a lot for basically a WWE pay-per-view main event. But they made every minute of it count, and then basically they were able to have this match and basically be able to really keep this as a whole as a good show. It's sort of like one of those old school WWE shows where basically like they would have a kick-ass main event. It would make you forget about everything that went along with it, and it's sort of like when you talk about WCW, they would have a kick-ass mid-card, and then the main event would stink the joint out, and when the show was over, you're like, oh fuck, I just wasted my money, forgetting about how much fun you had watching those first shows, because you really paid for this main event. And the main event tonight delivered. Team Cena going up against Team Authority in the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series. Everybody knows all about the stipulations that basically if Team Authority loses, they're stripped and removed. Basically, the new stipulation that was added tonight by Vince McMahon was that basically if Triple H and Stephanie were ever to be brought back into power, and it would be John Cena was the man that is going to have to appoint them to that position. Vince McMahon himself was not going to be able to step in and put them into that job because it's part of the contract for this match. Team Cena getting the win there is really going to help them out. When it all came down to it, I love the fact that when they got up on the ring to start this match, and Big Show and Mark Henry were fixing to square this off. This easily could have been an easy mid-card match. They added these guys because of their big name and their former times as WWE champion. Mark Henry was World Heavyweight Champion, and Big Show's won just about every belt that's ever been held the man, except for the European title, I believe, in WWF. And Triple H and Stephanie were on the ring steps, basically showing how important this was. Basically, like, Triple H would be reaching out for a tag, like he was adding himself into this match. And, as this match got started, Big Show just fucking knocked out Mark Henry, just right there in the middle of the ring with a big knockout punch. It was sort of like the talk about their feud. It was sort of like they put an emphasis on how important this match was. The second Mark Henry was pinned, Triple H jumped down from ringside. He was pissed. He went over and sat by the announcers, just put his head in his hands. Just, you could tell you how really big this match was, how Triple H really believed that he was really being removed from power if he lost this match. And seconds into this match, he's already down 5-4. There's a lot of questions about how a lot of these guys that were going to be involved in this match were basically going to be, pinned or submitted or anything like that. Rusev and Ryback, two of the biggest things about these guys is basically they don't lose. And, if you find a way, they both have to get eliminated from this match, or at least one of them does, in order to find out what's going down. Into this match, Ryback was the first member eliminated from Team Cena. He was pinned after a curb stomp from Rollins, followed by a super kick from Rusev. So he's got two finishers back-to-back, so he's not looking really like a bitch as being the first guy that gets dumped from here. The match went on for a long, long time before finally Ziggler and Rusev were fighting outside of the ring, and they both started knocking each other out. And you can tell that it was going to be a long time before they were able to get up. Rusev sort of did a diving move through the announce table. It was a really cool spot, the way that they had the camera set up, and you saw the actual table just just disintegrated down to the floor. I thought it was really, really cool. Rusev was not able to make it back into the ring before the 10 count. Basically, you had Triple H, you had Mercury, and you had Jamie Noble trying to pick up Rusev and get him back into the ring in time, and they weren't able to do it. I thought it was kind of stupid how basically Ziggler was laying there on the outside, and you could basically see him getting up to get back into the ring, and none of these three guys either try to attack or hold back Ziggler from getting back into the ring. He was able to get back in. Rusev was counted out, and from there we went to Eric Rowan, eliminated by Luke Harper. Basically, as they brawled, nothing was really that big from there. Basically, this was making the match 3 on 3 at the time. Ziggler was dead on the outside. Cena was sort of dead on the inside, and Big Show got into the match to start it out. And basically, you had Kane, you had Rollins, and you had Luke Harper looking at him. For some reason, I'm not sure, Big Show decided this was not his night to fight. He asked Cena to join him in the fight. He told Cena, get up. And the second Cena got up, Big Show just fucking knocked out John Cena. They left him laying. I like the fact that nobody really knew what was going on at this point. Basically, Seth Rollins covered Big Show, but the whole time he was covering Seth Rollins covered Cena, but the whole time he was looking up at Big Show, like waiting, like, is it a trap? Are you going to attack me? Why would you do this? Why would you help us? Moments after John Cena was eliminated, basically, Big Show walked over through the crowd, stuck his hand over the side, and shook Triple H's hand. Triple H looked like he had no clue what was going on at this point. But once he shook his hand, he started like, yeah, and Big Show joined the Authority. At this point, he had to eliminate himself from the ring. So basically, he just got out of the ring and walked all the way into the back, being counted out, leaving this as a 3-on-1 match. Basically, with Seth Rollins, Kane, and Luke Harper left to fight against Dolph Ziggler, and I thought that the deck was stacked against him, that there was no way he was going to be able to come about this. But honestly, at the time, I was thinking it's going to come down to Ziggler and Rollins. We just have to find a way where Dolph Ziggler is going to be able to overcome the odds and eliminate Kane and Luke Harper. From there, basically, it was Dolph Ziggler hitting Kane with the zigzag, and then he was able to roll up Luke Harper in pretty fast fashion. And then it came down to Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler at the time. But basically, as this match was going on, basically, Ziggler kept on, just having ways to win this match against Seth Rollins. And from there, basically, it was Triple H pulling out the referees, attacking the referees. It was Ziggler basically having a match against Noble and Mercury on the inside before basically even Triple H got into the ring and he was getting involved. And that is when Stinger decided to come back from the back. I know everybody's pumped to see Sting. I don't want to be the one guy throwing eggs at it, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Why this guy who's never been involved in WWE has, this step up to the plate where he's going to stand up for Dolph Ziggler and Team Cena. Why is he mad at the Authority? Basically, is he going to blame the Authority for holding him down, making him go work in TNA for years? I know everybody's pumped to see Sting, and I don't want to be the one guy pointing out that it doesn't really make any sense. But that's exactly what I was thinking as the whole thing was going down. Sting and Triple H, I guess that's the overwhelming number one thing to be going down at WrestleMania now on everybody's mind. I will like to give a shout out to my good buddy Jim Knight 888, who did buy his WrestleMania ticket, so I'm all fired up to see him. Good job, Cena. Or I might as well call you Cena. You and your orange shirt from 2010, buddy. Hope you wear it to WrestleMania. Enjoy it. It's been a few years since you've been to one, and it's good to see you back on the leaderboard there with Miguel over Ravi and me over the most WrestleManias. I was going to tie you if you didn't show up, so I'm glad you're going. But basically, Cena was able to, not Cena, Cena was in the back. Sting was able to get in there, and basically he punched Triple H, and Triple H told it like it was the first time he ever got punched into his life. I don't know if he was supposed to punch him and turn him right in to the Scorpion Death Drop. But basically, Triple H sold it, then Sting sort of grabbed him, spun him around, sort of selling the fact, hit him with it, and then he ran over, and he grabbed Ziggler, put him on top of Seth Rollins, and the referee finally got back into the ring, and Sting was walking to the back, and it was a 1, 2, 3, and it was over. But I don't even know why Ziggler and Rollins were laid out on the floor. Basically, I think everybody was supposed to be thinking about Sting and Triple H, and that's what it really came down to. They just needed a way to finish the match, and Ziggler had to be the one to pin somebody. But to me, it just was like, I don't know. But I'm fired up. I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm just saying it didn't really make sense to me. But basically, Dolph Ziggler was the ultimate survivalist. A lot of people are going to be thinking that this is a big deal for him and he should be shooting up the card. Ziggler, to me, honestly, is a guy that I don't think can stand up to Brock Lesnar in a fight. So that's going to be something to believe about. But I'm also the same guy who laughed at Eddie Guerrero going up against Brock Lesnar, with people thinking that Eddie Guerrero had a shot at No Way Out. And look at that. Eddie Guerrero made his career by beating Brock that night. Then he went on to WrestleMania beating Kurt Angle as well as WrestleMania 20. So, guys going up against Brock Lesnar, on my mind, if they can get into Brock's pocketbook, I'm sure that he'll lay down for just about anybody and make anybody's career. But Ziggler, I think this is a big exclamation point in his career. Probably one of the biggest wins of his time. Once Ziggler made it to the stage, Cena came out and grabbed him, and they celebrated for a second. But I think everybody is supposed to be looking at Sting as such a big occurrence of something going down, for the future. So, peace out, everybody. Check this out. I'll see you guys down the road. And tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw, Larry the Cable Guy and Santino make their return. I guess there's better stuff to look forward to than that, but that's all I can think of.